y'all doing well. This your girl Tanetta. I'm bringing y'all another baking demo. I'm actually trying to get my little cell phone stand set up now so I can, of course, get y'all over here. Because we're going to make a 2-ingredient cake, meaning the cake with no eggs, no butter, no anything, but just 2 ingredients. So like I said, definitely, this is going to be awesome, I'm pretty sure. And this will help some of y'all out there who, of course, are, like everybody else is on the budget, trying to, of course, stick with the lowest cost of everything possible, but to still give your kids, your family, your friend, whoever you're trying to bake this cake for, a lovely and tasteful time. I put it that way. So like I said, we're going to go ahead and get into this, y'all, but I'm trying to get this on set up. So come on in and tell your friends to come see this demo too, y'all. Let me see. Let me turn the oven on. I got to get my oven. I'm trying to get my oven and stuff on, y'all. Like I said, I'm trying to get set up now. Oven. Okay. I got my oven on 350. So like I said, everything else will come in. Oops, Lord Jesus. Will come. Let me get my pan. Let me get my pan, y'all. I'm using one of these little sheet cake pans, the 9x13. These little sheet cake pans. It has a lid too. Has a lid as well. And all these things that I'm using. Ooh, noisy. All the things I'm using today in this video, of course, is in the link down below, so that you can, of course, purchase your own and go ahead and get your own 2-ingredient cakes made for your family and your friends. And I know that Mother's Day is coming up, graduation's coming up. I'm sure birthdays are coming up, that kind of thing as well. And like I said, this would definitely fall in line with those things, because like I said, this is a 2-ingredient cake, so definitely you don't have to worry about the eggs and buying all these, because eggs, as we know, are very expensive right now. So like I said, I had to find something too that I can, of course, make and bake and that kind of thing as well, that will not just suit my pockets but suit y'all pockets too. And hey, sis Denise, thank you for joining. I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for being on here. Like I said, sis, I hope you're doing well, and thank you for the support as well. So like I said, what I'm using today, I'm using, of course, I'll get the 2 ingredients shortly, but I'm using, of course, like I said, the baking pan with the lid. Here's my little lid. This is the last one I got left, actually, but here's the baking pan with the lid. Like I said, all these things are in the description, are in the link down below. I got my whisk, my little whisk set. I'm only going to use one of these whisks, but I just want to show you, of course, that it is the set. It's a 3-piece set, but like I said, definitely I'm going to be using this today. I'm using the big one, actually, with my bowl. with the mixing bowl. So like I said, I'm definitely using that, because I'm not going to use these two. Trying to stick them back in my drawer, y'all. Sticking them back in the drawer. All right. And I'm trying to see. Thank you all. Let me see who else to say thank you. Oh, like I said, sis Denise, thank you for being here. Is it Apple user with the numbers? And it says user with the numbers. Thank y'all for being here. Is it Sigil Big Guy? I think is what it says. Guy Woodruff, Kent, the Stroker, VMB Botello, I think is the name. HTQ, Gianni, thank you all for being here today. Doreen, is it Kaylee Smith? Sima ABD, I guess. May Wright, Jonathan Forrest, AJ, Elder Nat Spence, I guess Spencer, Julie. Like I said, thank y'all for being on here today, y'all. I appreciate that. And like I said, I got to get the cake stuff, so give me 1 second. 1 second. Okay. So I'm leaving y'all in suspense. I guess I put it that way. So my 2-ingredient cake, like I said, I have a box of cake mix, and you can use whatever kind of cake mix you want to use. But I'm going to use this vanilla classic white cake mix for one of the ingredients. And then, of course, a can of Fanta pineapple soda. This is the soda that we had in the house, so I'm going to use that for the other ingredient. Like I said, this is a 2-ingredient cake. So like I said, you definitely can, make this cake for somebody in your family. Like I said, Mother's Day is coming up. If you want to make this for your mom, you can make different kind of flavors. You can have a strawberry soda or root beer soda. What other kind of sodas? I don't drink soda, y'all, so I'm trying to think of all the names my partner has. There's Coca-Cola. There's Sprite. There's 7-Up, of course, 7-Up cakes. And this Fanta, they have all kind of flavors. So they have orange, mango, I think this pineapple. They have all kind of flavors, strawberry, stuff like that. So like I said, whatever kind of soda that you want to use with your vanilla cake. Now, if you're going to use like a different flavor of cake, like a spice or something like that, you may have to get like a Dr. Pepper or root beer, something like that to go with that kind of cake, with the spice cakes. I don't know how that would taste, but like I said, definitely. But like I said, I just want, like I said, invite y'all on here. Thank you, y'all, for being here. And let me go ahead and get into this. I'm going to go ahead and pull this thing on down here, y'all. Let me see. And I got my little handy-dandy spatula, too. So I'm trying to get all my stuff up here. And like I said, everything that I'm using, all the links are in this video, too, that you can pick up as well. Let me go ahead and turn y'all, get on down here to this bowl, y'all. Because like I said, all I'm going to do is mix all these 2 ingredients, and that's it. And I'm going to throw this bad boy into the oven, y'all. As soon as I get this bad boy open. Trying to move that pan out the way. And I do have, I would say definitely make sure that you spray your pan. I haven't done that yet, but I will do that shortly. Trying to get this cake mix. Oh my God, y'all. Trying to get it open. Goodness gracious. What in the world? Okay, cake mix. You don't have an issue here. Let me get my scissors. Scissors, scissors, scissors. Here we go. Scissors, scissors, scissors. So I'm cutting this bad boy open, y'all. I'm trying to get this up out of here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pour this on into this bowl. And if y'all have made this cake before, let me know in the comments too. I definitely want to know. I want to hear from y'all. Let me know. And I will try this once it's done for y'all too, because I have never tried one of these before. I have made 7-Up cakes and stuff like that, but it had more ingredients and it was from scratch. But like I said, let me know in the comments if you had a piece of this before. But like I said, I'll definitely share it with y'all. So now all I'm going to do, I'm going to wash off this can of soda too, off the top. Now I hope I didn't shake it up too much, y'all, because that'll be a doggone mess. So I'm just opening up this can of soda, and this is a 12-ounce can of soda, just to let y'all know. Like I said, mine is pineapple, so I'm just pouring this on in this in the bowl with the cake mix, y'all. And yes, it's going to foam. Just keep that in mind. It has the foaming agents in this soda, so just keep that in mind. Okay. All I'm going to do is stir this bad boy up. Stir it up, stir it up, stir it up. Just trying to get it stirred up and mixed up as I can, y'all. And like I said, this is only the 2 ingredients, so there's no eggs, there's no butter, there's nothing else that's going into this bowl but these 2 things. And like I said, you can use any kind of flavor that you want to use. And like I said, this is a cheap recipe that you can make. Like I said, for Mother's Day, for graduations coming up, for somebody's birthday that's coming up. Like I said, this cake mix was only like $1, like $1.50. The canned soda we already had. So if you go buy it, I guess it's maybe like 50 cents or $1 or $2. So like I said, this is under, let me see, I guess under $3 for this whole thing. Now, if you don't have a metal pan at home, you can use a glass. If you have a glass dish, or you can make these into cupcakes, I'm sure too. So let me go ahead and finish stirring this up, y'all. But like I said, definitely get you a pan. These kind of pans will give you more cake. Just, of course, like I said, just in case you're having family, friends, because all them graduation parties, Mother's Day, I'm sure it ain't going to be just you two. So you'll probably have some other folks coming by you want to make this for, so they can have a piece too. All right, y'all, I'm putting this whisk away. Shortly, I'm just trying to make sure everything is stirred on around her. Stirred on around her, y'all. And I hope y'all are enjoying this so far. And I can't see who all's on here, but I'm trying to see who is that. Hudson Madison. There is Enchanted Mouse Tails, I think is what it says. Gritty 7769, I think is what it says as well. Marcel. Thank you all. I can't see all the other names, but thank you all for tuning in today. And like I said, I hope y'all are enjoying this video too. So let me put this whisk up. So let me get my spray from my pan, y'all. Where's my spray? Cooking spray, cooking spray, cooking spray, cooking spray. Like I said, you do not want to have this pan this metal pan with no cooking spray, because this cake will stick to this whole entire thing and you will not have a cake. I put it that way. So you want to make sure that you, of course, are spraying this bad boy to make sure that it's, of course, greasy enough so it can help hold this cake once it's baked. And I'm going to do this over the stove, y'all. I'm just using my regular olive oil cooking spray, y'all. You can use whatever kind of cooking spray you have. That's up to you. Oops, Lord. Now I'm giving this a good spray, y'all. All right, giving it a good spray, y'all. There's my little sprayed pan. Like I said, make sure that you get the sides as well, not just the bottom, because it will stick to the sides if you ain't got the whole thing greased. So make sure that you got sprayed the side too. So let me go up. I'm trying to get my little spatula. My little spatula ready to go, y'all. And let me see who else is on here. I know there was other ones that tuned in. I didn't get a chance to say hello. The Real Psycho Witchy, I think is the name. Dolly. I think I said Callie Smith. I said hello too. Thank you again. Hungry, Horny, Happy. I know that's an interesting name, but definitely thank you for being here as well. Marcel again, thank you. Hudson Madison again, thank you. And is it Sherry Ben? Thank you as well. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and finish getting this cake together, y'all. All I'm going to do is pour this into the pan. I'll show y'all this shortly. Give me a second. Let me rearrange this bowl and stuff up here. And I'm sticking this bad boy into the oven. So let me go ahead and put this on back down so I can pour this cake mix into this pan. Uh-oh. All right, and you can use your spatula if you don't have a spatula. Like I said, I have all these. Everything that I'm using today is in the in the link on the video for you to pick up if you need to get them, y'all. If you already got them, don't worry about it. But like I said, I'm just pouring this into this bowl, and we're gonna go ahead and pop this bad boy into the oven. It smells good too, y'all. Of course, it smells like pineapple because it's a pineapple soda. So, and like I said, whatever soda that you're putting in here, I'm sure it'll smell good as well, y'all. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. And I'm enjoying, like I said, doing these videos for y'all. And like I said, this is a 2-ingredient cake. But, of course, it's less than $3 to purchase the ingredients, y'all. A box of cake mix, and most people already have that at home already. And then a can of soda. Whatever soda floats your boat and that you think would go well with that cake mix that you're using. This was just a white cake mix. I still say vanilla because that's the kind of taste that it has. But, oh, I'm trying to get all this up out of there. There we go. That's why mine was pineapple. Any other soda, any soda can actually go into this white cake mix. As long as y'all like the soda. If you don't like the soda, don't use it. I'll put it that way. So, Abigail says, thank you for tuning in as well. I'm making a two ingredient cake today. I made it with the box of cake mix and, of course, a Fanta pineapple soda. So I'm sticking this on into the oven as soon as I get this in there. Oh, all right. In oven it goes. Woo, oven it goes, y'all. Oven it goes. All right. It's going into the oven. So, whoop. Like I said, it's going into the oven, y'all. Oh, and I said 2-ingredient, but I do have an icing as well. I had bought an icing from Walmart. And if you know how to make icing, I do too. But I was trying to do this really cheaply. It's for those who are at home, of course, trying to figure out how to make somebody a cake and still be on budget. So like I said, that's why I didn't make the icing today, because that includes butter and all this kind of stuff going on. So powdered sugar and all that. So I just bought a can of cream cheese icing that's going to go on top of this bad boy when it's done. And I actually have, as soon as I figure out where they're at, where am I at? Oh, here it goes, right here in my hand. Looking right at it. I had bought these sprinkles from Walmart a while ago, like about a month or so ago. So I'm going to go ahead and use these too. I'm going to use the yellow sprinkles to go on top because, like I said, it's a pineapple cake. So I want to make sure I have something that looks cute on top. So I chose to use these. I'm going to use these yellow sprinkles, but you don't have to use sprinkles. If you don't have any, you can leave your cake and just leave the icing on top. Or you can put cookies on top if you have any Oreos or Chips Ahoy or that kind of thing that will go with this cake. Not just any random cookie, but that would actually go with the cake. Like I said, you can put that on top too. But like I said, and if you have sprinkles, use them doggone sprinkles. They ain't got to be yellow like this. This comes with a whole bunch of colors in the blue, green, purple, red, all that kind of stuff. So, but like I said, this is stuff that I had at home. I would advise you to use the stuff you got at home. You don't have to go buy anything else for this. Like I said, just the cake mix and the soda to mix that together to actually make the cake with. And then, of course, the icing, whatever icing you're going to use. And this icing was probably, I think it was like $1.70 something, $1.60 something at Walmart. So I guess technically, I guess the cake is $5 or less, about $5. But like I said, definitely use what you got at home, y'all. You don't have to make anything extravagant, make anything out the way. Trust me, it's still gonna taste good, and they're gonna love it anyway. So, like I said, definitely, I'm just waiting for this cake to go ahead and bake. Right now, it's in the oven. I can turn the oven. Let me see where my little thing at, y'all. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? There we go. And I'll come down a little bit. You can kind of see the cake. Well, you can see the cake in the oven. It's on in there. I put it that way. It's in there, y'all. It's baking. And I'm going to let this bad boy bake for about 20 minutes. And, of course, I'm going to come check on it. I got the oven light on. So I can make sure that it's not going to stick to the pan. Not stick to the pan, but going to burn. So, like I said, you want to make sure that you, of course, are checking your cake. You don't want to open up the oven. If you don't have a light in your oven, then I guess you just give it at least 20 minutes and then check it. It shouldn't be too burned or anything like that at all, because you don't want to keep opening the oven because you're going to change that oven temperature too much. So like I said, definitely make sure that you check on this cake. If you, like I said, if you have the light, look through the oven light and look down and make sure that it's cooking. But at least give it 20 minutes, y'all. And like I said, once it, of course, comes out the oven, I'll come back with y'all and go ahead and get this bad boy iced once it cools down, because it has to cool down first. And then sprinklified, I guess to put it that way. So with that, y'all, I want to say thank y'all again for being here. Genesis, thank you for joining as well. Thank all y'all again. Marcel, there's a whole lot of names on here. Let me see. Starting at the top. Denise, the users with the Apple users, I don't know what the names are, but they're Apple users. Sigil, Big Guy, Guy Woodruff, Ken the Stroker, VMB Botello, HTQ Jada, I think is what it says. Gianni, Doreen, Kaylee Smith, Seema, May, Jonathan, AJ, Elder Nat, Julie, Okie Weed Goddess, Kaylee, Nikki, Tina, and I don't know what that says. Is that Nobello? I can't understand the writing on that. But thank you for being here as well. Dolly, Nicole, is it Nicole Home? The Real Psycho Witchy, DJ Asa, I don't know how to pronounce the name now. DJ Asa, Charlotte, I guess is what it says. I'm assuming that's what that says. Hungry, Horny, Happy, Marcel. Like I said, thank all y'all. Enchanted Mouse Tails, Gritty 7769, Hudson Madison, Genesis. Let me see, Sherry Ben 955, Abigail Sis. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. And like my cousin just joined a little while ago, Just Red, thank you for being here as well. But I'm going to go ahead and get my butt off here, y'all. Because like I said, I'll come back once this cake actually cooks. And just to let y'all know, again, I was making a 2-ingredient cake with a 12-ounce can of soda and a box of cake mix to make sure we get this cake made. Like I said, I know y'all got some events coming up. Like I said, Mother's Day, graduations, birthdays, and things like that. You may not be able to afford to go buy a cake. This is a great idea for you all to make for that loved one that you want to, of course, celebrate. So, and like I said, again, the whisk, my all the stuff that I use, the metal pans, all that type of thing, they're in the video for you to click on the link to purchase them. If you need to pick those up to make your loved one this cake, y'all. So with that, take care, y'all. I'll see y'all in about 30-40 minutes once this cake comes out the oven and once it cools down, so I can get the icing on her. So I'll see y'all soon. Peace out, y'all. Thank y'all again for being on here. Hey, y'all. I'm back with the 2-ingredient cake. I have gotten it out the oven. Let me show y'all this cake, y'all. Let me show y'all this cake. So here's the whole cake. Like I said, it's the 2-ingredient cake with just a can of soda and a box of cake mix. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna I got my icing already, the little top off, the little thing off, but I found some lemon extract in my cabinet, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some of that in my icing. Actually, it's a cream cheese icing, so I'm pretty sure it'll be all right. Just putting about a teaspoon in there, not a tablespoon, teaspoon. I just poured it on in there. I'm just going to stir this up in the can. And you don't have to add any extract if you don't want. It's fine. Whatever kind of icing you have, I'm definitely sure it should be fine for your cake. But I was making this more of like, it's like a citrusy cake, pineapple. So I wanted to have something in my icing that was a little bit of citrus too. So, like I said, all I'm doing is just mixing this on up. Let me put this down here for y'all, so y'all can at least see me mixing it up. I put it that way. Like I said, I'm just mixing it on up. I put a teaspoon in here. So like I said, I'm just mixing this on up. Mixing, y'all. That's it. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this on this cake. And then be done with this cake, y'all. But once I get the sprinkles, then we'll be done. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this on this cake. The cake is a tiny bit warm. It's not all the way cold at all because I wanted it to kind of seep into the cake a little bit. So like I said, it's a little bit warm, y'all. Just a tiny bit. But I can touch the pan with no problem, so it's not hot at all. I didn't want it hot, so nuh-uh. So all we're going to do is just icing this cake, y'all. Icing in the cake. Icing in the cake. Let me put some more icing down here, actually. Put some more icing down here, all right? All we're going to do is just icing. However you want to icing this, go ahead and icing. If you want to get a piping bag and pipe the icing on her, feel free. That's just your cake. I'm not using a piping bag today. Because like I said, this was just a 2-ingredient cake. And I don't see a need to have my, like I said, the piping bags out. So I'm just getting this icing on her, y'all. Just rubbing it on her. And like I said, this cake will feed about, it depends on how big you make your pieces. It could feed up to 20 to 22 people. But if you want some bigger slices and that kind of thing, because I know I love cake too, y'all. So you can, I would say about 10 or 15 if you want some big slices of cake up here, y'all. Big, nice pieces. But like I said, definitely, this would be great for your, like I said, your Mother's Day and graduation, y'all. Like I said, this is a cheap cake. And you can make multiple of these if you need to. And especially with that pan up, with the metal pans, the one what I tagged in the video, you'll be able to see, I think there's 10 in the pack, I think there's 10. So like I said, you can make multiple of these if you need to. If you need to. But pick it up if you do, y'all. Trying to get this icing all on her. On the sides too, y'all. Okay. Trying to get my cake not showing up in here. Trying to get it all spread on out. And like I said, this is my first 2-ingredient cake. I knew you could make them and that kind of thing. I've just never made one because I'm one that makes everything from scratch and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, I'm experimenting with these to see how it tastes, y'all. Like I said, I have never, because I want to taste one too. I had never tasted one before, so this is going to be my first taste test of this. It's going to be awesome, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure, y'all. And like I said, all I'm doing is just getting the icing around the size of this cake, y'all, so it won't be any cake showing that I can tell anyway. You don't have to do all that. I'm doing it, but you don't have to do all that if you don't want to, y'all. Like I said, I just want to get everything covered as much as I can. So I'm putting sprinkles on this cake, so I definitely wanted to put my sprinkles still on her. I didn't use all the icing, and that's fine. You may not use it for yours either, so let me go ahead and get my sprinkles. And like I said, since I made the pineapple cake, I'm putting some yellow sprinkles on this cake, y'all. And if you don't have sprinkles, that's okay, but I want to decorate it with something. And like I said, sprinkles is the only thing that I could think of that I had in the house that was, I didn't have to go buy. So this is how my cake is going to look, y'all. Like I said, it's just a plain, kind of a plain Jane, I guess you can say. Cake with some yellow sprinkles, y'all. Getting this on down here. All right. And like I said, this would be a nice addition to anybody's, like I said, sweets table. Like I said, especially if you're having your Mother's Day parties and that kind of thing. Like I said, graduations. You can use any color sprinkles, more like the kids' school colors. Drop this towel when it comes to the graduation. So, like I said, that's always doable. And like I said, this is less than, I guess, for the icing included. It's $5, almost $5 for this cake. So to make it, let me get me a plate, y'all. I'm trying to get me a plate and get me a spatula up out of here. Can I get a piece of this? My metal spatula. I don't know. We're gonna use a plastic one today then. I can't find the metal one, y'all. I got my handy dandy spatula. Trying to get this stuff out the way. Out the way, out the way, out the way. There we go. So let me go ahead and pull this on back down so I can go ahead and get a piece of this cake for y'all. So I'm just gonna, like I said, make a small piece over here, a small little cut. I'm not gonna have a big giant piece, so I'm just gonna make a little small. Well, I done messed up my little. Let me just cut it with this. I'll use this to cut it with, y'all. And y'all see how moist it is? Very moist, actually. Very, 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 very moist. I may have to use that to pick it up too, because I can't get it up out of here. Can't get it out of here with that thing. Okay, there we go. There we go. Whoops. There we go. Got me a piece of cake, y'all. All right. That tastes good, actually. I taste my finger. Can you give me a spoon or something to eat this? Spoon. All right, y'all. So here's how the cake looks, y'all. Like I said, it is a very spongy cake. It looks very, very good. Y'all can see that really well. I don't know if y'all, hopefully y'all can see that, y'all. Hopefully y'all can see that well. Trying to pull it up so y'all can see it. There we go. Let me go ahead and get a piece of this, y'all. The sprinkles are crunchy. That's good, y'all. Like I said, it's very, very moist. I taste the pineapple. I taste my lemon and the icing as well. Like I said, this would be an amazing cake for y'all. So, of course, like I said, to have graduation, Mother's Day, like I said, was less than $5 to buy the cake mix. It's like $1.50. The can of soda I already had, so use whatever kind of soda you have at home. And then the icing was like about almost $2. So, less than $5 to make this. But like I said, it was damn good, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and finish this, actually. I'm going to go ahead and finish this. So good, y'all. I love cake and icing, y'all. If you do, I hope you do too. Like I said, all the will link the supplies that I use in this video so you can go ahead and purchase yours. So you can go ahead and start making these cakes too, y'all. So you'll see that in the video too, y'all. I put the whole thing in my mouth. Trying to chew. All right, y'all. So I want to thank y'all for being here. And like I said before, I do. I'm showing y'all how to bake these kind of things. I actually own a baking business out of my home called Cookies and Ish. So of course, like I said, these kind of things, I don't know if I'm going to sell anything like this in my business at all, but like I said, it's definitely a damn good cake. I guess to make it, of course, to possibly sell. Like I said, put it that way as well. Like I said, it's damn good. So if you like this video, make sure that you, of course, leave a comment whether you're going to make this. I definitely want to know. So peace out, y'all. Have a good one. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out. Again, this is Toni, Toni's Kitchen. Peace out, y'all.